Hey, this is Chris Jericho from Fozzy. Our song Sandpaper's in the Loudwire Cage Match Hall of Fame. And you're watching Loudwire!
Hey everyone, Gruhamed from Loudwire here, and I'm with one of my favorite people.
Wow.
Fozzy, really, truly. Fozzy frontman, wrestling legend, best-selling author, actor, dancer, podcaster.
Bake sailor.
Really? Robot Combat League ringmaster, aerobics instructor, amateur astronaut,
Nice.
artisan cheese maker.
Very nice, yeah.
Everything.
Chainsaw ice sculptor.
Really?
Yeah, that's a good one.
We're just revealing
How
everything.
the hell do they
here.
do that anyways, that stuff? Have you seen the chainsaw ice sculptures?
I've seen it. It's pretty impressive.
Dude, I wonder if the guy from Jackal. That was a chainsaw. The only
Jackal
chainsaw
dude,
solo ever in heavy metal was Jackal.
Yeah.
It was called, what's it called? The chainsaw song? The lumberjack song.
Lumberjack, I think.
Right, so
and
there
then
you go.
he tore through Tom Green's desk.
See, we're talking. How much of this info would you ever get with anybody else other than us?
I don't know. Chris Jericho is what I'm trying to say that he's here. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Always great to have you.
The ceremonial handshake.
Yes, exactly.
Always nice.
Good for the cameras.
If I would have known, I would have washed my hands after I went to the bathroom.
I washed my hands.
Well, you're an employee. Employees must wash their hands.
there
Guests, we don't ever have to wash our hands.
Oh, Fozzy, do you want to start a war? Lights Go Out.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like that single represents the record?
It's a pretty good representation of the record. I mean, when we first started, we released that, a lot of people were like, oh, it's a little bit different from usual from Fozzy, and it is. Because what we were finding is that if you turn on rock radio, a lot of bands sound the same. You know, it's a very similar pattern, and it happens. Music gets, what's successful, then people copy, and then copy, and then it just becomes a little bit of a dirge. And we wanted to do something a little different, and of course we love Maiden, and we love Priest and Sabbath, and we love Avenged Sevenfold, and Stone Sour and all those bands, but we also love Pink Floyd. We love Queen. We love Zeppelin. We love Guns N' Roses. We love U2. Bands that, the Beatles, would always change their style, but still keep it true to who they were. And that's what Lights is. It's still heavy. It's still got that Fozzy groove and melody, but it's got a little bit, I was calling it like heavy metal dance club music. And this song was actually, it debuted on Octane and in the Marquee in Vegas, like the biggest dance club on the same day.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got that vibe to it, and it's, some people are saying it sounds like Sabbath, or it sounds like Nine Inch Nails, or it sounds like Rob Zombie, or it sounds like Muse, or it sounds like, all these different things. To us, it sounds like Fozzy, and it's a little bit different, which is good. I think it's a game changer for us. And so far, it's just starting to get rolling, but people are falling in love with the tune. And even more so, a lot of people saying, we'd never heard Fozzy before, and we heard this song, it blew our minds. And we went back and listened to other stuff, and that was great too. So it's creating a new awareness for us.
Awesome. That's great. I kind of thought a little 30 Seconds to Mars, personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that it's all things to all people. I haven't heard the 30 Seconds to Mars. The weirdest one I heard is the Dan Reed Network, which is a really obscure band from the early 90s. But, we just wanted to do something a little bit different and still really focus in on that sound, that Rich Ward classic sound, that Fozzy sound, of very heavy, groovy riffs with melodic choruses and a lot of harmonies. We have, mentioning influences, like there was bands in the 70s like Queen or Styx or Foreigner or Journey where everybody sang. That's what Fozzy has, and there's not a lot of bands that have 4 or 5 singers in the band. And we've really been able to carve out a little niche for ourselves, but now it's time to kind of really show everybody what it is we do, and we think people are ready for it, and we think it's going to be, like I said, a game changer for the band.
Sure. And speaking about the vocals, I think when I first heard the song, I immediately thought, your voice is still improving and improving, especially when you're going for these really high notes.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have, you're getting a lot more control of your voice. You're really hitting the notes the way you really want to hit them. Do you feel like this is your best vocal performance on tape so far?
Well, first of all, thank you. And second of all, absolutely. And one of the reasons for that is we did 160 odd shows for the Sin and Bones tour.
Yeah.
And the best way you can really hone in your style of a singer is by touring and going out there and night in and night out. Sometimes you have, maybe you're starting to get a little bit scratchy, more warming up. Sometimes your throat is sore, more warming down after. You really get more control of your instrument. And the first 3 Fozzy records were fine. I took some vocal lessons after the All That Remains record, then we took a break for a while. We came back with Chasing the Grail. If there's two two halves to Fozzy. There's the first half from 2005, and then there's 2010 to now. And that's when we really started finding ourselves as a band, finding myself as a singer. And listening to the first Fozzy record for me is probably the same way that James Hetfield listens to Kill 'Em All, where you're like, ooh, like some of that's just like, wow, that's really annoying, or it just doesn't fit. But now, like you said, I really have figured out where I want to sing these parts, and also, you know, Rich being the main songwriter in the band, the melodies that he's writing, he's really figuring out what Chris Jericho's range is as well, and where my wheelhouse is. And sometimes you can go in and out of that, but most of the time you do what you do best, and that's the best singers of all time. Stick with what they know. They don't try. You know, Ozzy doesn't try and be Steven Tyler. Steven Tyler doesn't try and be, you know, M Shadows, and M Shadows doesn't try and be, you know, Corey Taylor, and that's what makes it work. You know, so. There definitely is a Chris Jericho style of singing, and over the last 3 or 4 years, I've really focused in and really, like you said, nailed it what it really is.
Cool.